Now that we made a simple loop using our newly updated drum plugin, there are a few things we can make to turn it into something more. I have a few ideas that I'd like to try and share with you today, and maybe that could help you write better music and help you get out of loop jail. So let's try some stuff. So you have no idea where you're going with this loop? Me neither. So let's try my first tip. Let's make 1, 2, and 3 clones. The first thing we can do is do some tone layering. So for example, we could add a new instrument, a new synth, a new percussion that could complement our loop. So that's going to create more tonal depth and prepare for later parts. Since we already have a percussive element with the drum, we already have our guitar and our bass. We could try to add a synth part of some sort. Let's search in Analog Dreams. Do we have some pads? Of course we have some pads. Legato. Alright, I have Flux Mini 2 to emulate a sidechain effect from the kick. A simple idea that we could tweak a bit further down the line, but let's keep going. Let's do another clone of our loop. This time we could introduce some rhythmic variation. We could double the drum faster or slower, for example. We could also switch the groove. That's going to add a bit of interest in the loop without changing the feel too much. Let's join the drum and let's try to speed it up, double that. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a good fit, but let's hear it anyway. I mean, it works, we could use that. Let's try to do the opposite and slow it down. Let's do that, but I want the hi-hat to keep the pattern from the bass. And let's try these to be a bit more of an open hi-hat. Oh! Nice! And that's the opposite of a snare bomb. Alright, that could work maybe for a break or another part. And for the last loop, the third idea I had is to do some arrangement edits. We could add or remove certain instruments, so we could highlight some parts of the loop. That could give us a structured call and answer type of feel. So maybe we could keep the first part of the riff on the guitar and let the second rhythmic part just be played on the bass. I'm going to cut that, and here, and here. Those, that, and that. I don't need those either. Let's just remove the parts I don't need. Okay, let's hear that now. Okay, now we have 4 variations of the same loop. We could use them as they are, or maybe add some other instrument later, or eventually blend them. What we did here was create clones from the same starting loop. But what if we wanted to build a distinct new section? For that, we could do variations on a duplicate of a duplicate of a duplicate of a duplicate. So let's copy the first loop we had. Let's copy that here. The first idea we can do for that variation is to simply change completely the harmony progression, or in that case, the riff of the guitar. So let me get the 7th string. So let's delete the guitar and the bass, because we are going to replace completely the riff. I found a variation of the first riff, so let's try to record it. Let's record the bass for that. Okay, we have our first variation of a variation. The next idea we could apply to our new variation is to change some rhythmic element to it. So we could double or half the tempo of the drum. I think we could change some kick. We could also switch the hi-hat. Let's put a cymbal of some sort. And some snares as well. And for the third variation of that loop, here we could introduce a melody, for example, or another instrument that could really help differentiate that part from the other ones. I need a guitar lead of some kind. Let's check the preset real quick. I really enjoy Archetype Gojira because there is a lot of effects in it. Turn the guitar into a bit of a synth. Maybe not the phaser, it's a bit too much. Let's try the chorus. That works! Alright. Look at all that we've created from a single loop. Isn't that great? Now we have a lot of content we can take from and rearrange that so we can, well, make a song. We're gonna need some transitions. You can do that from a musical perspective, like with tone breaks or maybe another line on the bass, sorry. Or maybe a change of pace or melody on the guitar. You can also do that with sound effect. A very popular one is to do a riser. Logic has a lot already built in, but we can do one real fast. So I liked this sound of the drum. So we're going to record that and reverse it. Bounce in place. And now here we can click reverse. So that could be the start of our drum. Maybe add a bit of saturation. We could do the same with our guitar lead right there, with that. Great, maybe you could use both. There are a lot you can do with transitions. Of course, there are riser, there are impacts and all that kind of stuff. I encourage you to maybe find some you like, put them in a folder on your desktop so you can find them more easily. Also, as you can see, you can just take the time to experiment with the content you have and do some riser and transitions from what you already have, which adds a bit of continuity during the song as well, because the material is the same from the instruments. You can also add some dynamics to your song by playing with the layers of your instruments. So you can drop some instruments on the verse one and bringing them back on the second verse, for example. Or you could also use some effects to build the intensity. Filters are a great way to do that. Maybe we could build an intro with those risers and playing also a bit with filters by introducing the riffs. And we could put the guitar lead out of the bus, so it's going to be easier to play with the filters. Let's try to automate that manually. And let's do the same with the high cut. Maybe something like that. And then we can introduce the whole band. We could use the part with the guitars just playing the intro of the riffs. And maybe this could be the chorus or something. An efficient idea to create some contrast is to simply put some silence somewhere. So maybe we could just put that there. And I don't know, we could imagine an outro where we only have the drum, the lead, and maybe the bass, but filtered. So let's put an EQ on the master. Let's do something like that. And we could automate that. And that could end up here. What do you think? Oh, let's put maybe the riser we had at the beginning, but at the end. We'll need to mute the guitar at the end. I like to use the gain for that kind of automation. Boom, boom. Alright, let's do the same for the drums. Before going any further, let's listen back to all of that. Well, it's starting to sound like something. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do to turn that into a full song, but I think we have a nice base to start building from. I've got some exciting ideas on effects that I want to share with you on the next video, so let's keep that beat going, shall we?